Brad Lander, our boy, he's currently in third polling overall statistically, but second best behind Zoran Mamdani in terms of who to vote for. Listen, early voting in New York has started, and don't forget that motherfucker, goddamn Andrew Cuomo. He sucks, and you shouldn't put him on your ballot. All right, don't forget that shit, okay? When you go out to vote. But anywho, this is gonna be this is quite a fucking situation. This is crazy, to be honest. So, Brad Lander goes to, I believe it's an immigration courthouse. He goes to a courthouse. It's like from what I understand, it's a weekly thing that he does, and he goes to help escort a bunch of migrants to go to their fucking court cases, which again, not illegal. Oh, this is gonna make him look bad. Yeah, exactly, Boy Meets Minnie. Yeah, it sucks he got arrested. Well, yeah, he ended up getting arrested for escorting a defendant out of the immigration court, as is being said here. Hi, this is Meg Barnett, Brad's wife. While escorting a defendant out of immigration court at 26 Federal Plaza, Brad was taken by mass agents and detained by ICE. This is still developing, and our team is monitoring the situation closely. So, from what I understand, this is a thing that he constantly does. He's done this for weeks on end, probably even months on end. He does this once a week. Helps escort defendants out of immigration court because, again, guess what the fucking what ICE has been doing in conjunction with, consent from fucking goddamn Eric Adams, because Turkey's strongest soldier needs to get a fucking goddamn pardon from the DOJ fucking investigating him for his corruption charges, because, whoa, Eric Adams is incredibly shitty and corrupt. Who would have fucking thought? Very cool. ICE agents have been allowed to freely operate throughout New York, despite the fact that New York is a sanctuary city. They are not allowed to do this. However, Eric Adams isn't enforcing the law, and he's deciding to look the other way because he wants to curry favor and get a fucking pardon from Trump. That's what he wants. Because otherwise, his ass would be in fucking jail if he wasn't, mayor of New York at the moment, and also having the fucking goddamn goons trying to fucking protect him. So that's cool. So, fucking ICE has been using immigration courts constantly as a honeypot, as well as immigration testing centers as a honeypot to detain migrants. Because again, guys, it turns out if your Gestapo has a quota system in place in order to, apprehend people, that's not a good thing. It's actually kind of a bad thing. Some food for thought. We know that this is the same shit that's been happening to Mosa Madawi. This is also the same thing that got Judge Hannah Dugan arrested by ICE as well. She was escorting a defendant into immigration court so they could get their fucking hearing and have due process, which is something that they are allowed to do under the Constitution, because in the 14th Amendment it says every person has the ability to have these protections of the Constitution. But do any of these motherfucking conservatives care about the Constitution? No. Why don't we play this video? What do we got here?
Judicial warrant. Do you have a judicial warrant? Do you have a judicial warrant?
So, yeah. What Brad Lander is mentioning here is normally to do arrests like this, it is the DOJ's responsibility to be able to arrest politicians. Because he's a politician. He's the New York's current comptroller. I don't really know what a comptroller is, but whatever. He's the current comptroller. That is a political position. You have to get a warrant from the DOJ in order to arrest him. What they are doing right now is illegal. Now, the excuse that the fucking goddamn ICE would operate under, and same with that dumb fuck Chrissy Nome, is that they have executive arrest privileges or some shit, which is complete hooey, meaningless nonsense. Just a complete fucking nothing burger. Meaning, guess what? They don't have any fucking legal basis for doing this fucking arrest. It's complete, utter fucking bullshit. They're just doing this because they don't give a fuck about the rule of law, and they don't give a fuck about the Constitution. It's a complete fucking farce for these people.
Can I see the judicial warrant? Can I see the...
Oh, yes, and he was what he wanted to see was basically the court hearings, or not the court hearings, the court documents for the defendant that went to immigration court. That's what he was there for. And also escorting out a defendant out of immigration court, which is not illegal. Which is not illegal.
Warrant. I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it? Where is the warrant?
Oh, exactly, Boy Meets Community. Yeah, they treat the Constitution like scripture, whatever bits and pieces they can cherry pick and leverage for power. Exact same shit with religion, exact same shit with the economy. It's all the exact same thing. Because again, quick reminder, never forget this. What is the basis for the modus operandi of all fucking conservatives? Maintenance of hierarchy and control. That's all that these motherfuckers care about.
I would let go. I'll let go. Take it to see the warrant. Put him in custody. No! Take it back. Take it back. Step back.
Yeah, he just wanted to see the warrant that the defendant was having, which he is allowed to do. He can do that. As a fucking politician, he's allowed to get that. That's like FOIA request shit. He can do that. But whatever. Yeah, step back, bro. You're pushing. Listen, these guys are like stupid, degenerate, dumb fucking pigs who couldn't get into fucking piggy school, okay? By the way, he's supposed to have like an NYPD fucking escort. Notice how NYPD is doing nothing. They're complicit. Very cool. It's almost as if, whoa, unlike in LA, where the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department are not complicit with the actions of ICE, they will, however, sort of, not explicitly, but implicitly sort of help ICE do their thing by controlling the fucking crowds. And you can make the technical, highly technical debate bro arguments like, well, that's technically what they're supposed to be doing, blah, 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 blah. You can have a fucking problem with the fact that, yeah, the fact that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing is the main overall problem. Which is why I guess the military has decided to fucking goddamn do that shit. LAPD is pretty much complicit now. They're letting the bounty hunter LARPers run people over. Oh, fantastic. Oh, you're telling me that LAPD actually has gotten worse. Who would have thought? That's cool. Well, what I mean mostly by complicit, and this is something that they're not doing, is just arresting random people and handing them over to ICE. They're not doing that. Because that's not their job, technically speaking. NYPD is more... Technically speaking, in this particular goddamn issue, is actually worse than the LAPD, which is that shocking to say? I have no fucking idea. It's very fucking stupid.
You don't have authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Sir, you don't
That's
have
true.
the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. You don't have I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. I asked to see the judicial warrant. By asking for a judicial warrant, you don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens asking for a judicial warrant.
Again, he's just right, and these fucking goddamn goons, these stooges to power, have no fucking authority to do this. They're just fucking mad about the fact that he's, I don't know, trying to do his fucking job. That's literally it. He's trying to do his job. They're just mad about it. Very cool.
Stay back. No, ma'am, for your own safety. For your own safety.
Very cool.
Where are you taking him? Hello?
Oh, they're not going to answer that question.
Authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Where are you taking me? And with what authority?
Oh, they're not going to answer that
With
question.
what authority?
Every time this question has been asked, which they're supposed to answer to, by the way, if they were normal cops, they have to answer those fucking questions. Whoa. Crazy. They're not gonna, because they don't have authority to do this. It's just a complete fucking authoritarian crackdown. That's the point of this. Yeah, they're just kidnappers. Yep. They're just snagging them.
Hold on.
Just fucking snagging them for no reason. Very, very cool. Hey, listen, conservatives, I thought you guys hated stuff like this. Apparently not. Here's another fucking angle of it. So this was just as he was getting arrested, right? This is like the full video. So that was the defendant that he was helping escort out of immigration court, linking arms with him, so that ICE doesn't detain him for no reason. Because again, the fucking migrant right here on the left, he's going to court for, whoa, crazy. I don't know, could be because of some charges, could be because of something to do with like immigration papers or something. It could be a whole bunch of different things. Who knows, right? Like tomato, tomato, potato, potato. It's all the same shit. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter, right? He's supposed to go to court for something. But again, these fucking stooges, these goons, have been using the courts, as a fucking honeypot. They've even been they've even been like running around in like farmlands, fucking apprehending migrants as well, doing this exact same fucking shit. Why do you think Trump recently came out and said like, wait, hold on, you can't go over after our wonderful farmers or our service workers for hotels? Because of course he also said service workers for hotels. Crazy. Who would have thought that he only cares about his own fucking interests? As always with Donald Trump. Very cool. Fantastic. Excellent. We love our self-interested president, folks, don't we? Very, very cool. Yeah, like, he's just a fucking idiot. He doesn't know any of this because, again, you want to know who's running the show in terms of all these, like, random black baggings? It's fucking Stephen Miller, because Stephen Miller is, like, a 3 IQ racist troglodyte. There's history of Stephen Miller talking about, like, how the janitors should not be speaking Spanish in his fucking high school and shit. That they should be speaking English. He's just a genuine, like, evil person. Very fucking evil. Yeah, I mean, we could throw in Peter Thiel in there. I have no doubt that he probably also told janitors that they should be speaking English instead of Spanish or some shit. Whatever. Just a duplicitous fucking evil person. You listen. There's going to be a very, very special place in hell for Stephen Miller when that fucking dumbass is going to die off. Him trying to boing his fucking non-white wife. Hey, Stephen Miller, I thought we cared about I thought we cared about white birth rates or something. Yeah, you got a non-white wife? And you're getting cucked by Elon Musk? Ooh, sucks to suck, you fucking egg fucking loser. Haha. Fucking loser. So, what was I saying? Yeah, ICE has been using these as honeypots, which is illegal. Again, for all the fucking conservatives constantly soying out and complaining about how illegal migrants are not doing anything properly in order to be able to seek the correct paths for citizenship. Quite literally, they have to go to these different locations to go along these correct paths, but ICE just keeps grabbing them and fucking detaining them. Crazy. So, like, what? You want them to become, like, to go along the correct path towards citizenship? Or do you just want to fucking deport them? Something tells me that they just want to fucking deport them. That's all that they want. The callousness and the cruelty is the point.
Guys, back up, guys, back up. I understand. You're pregnant, but I need you to back up. If you're interfering with this arrest, we're going to back up, guys.
So again, he's probably arguing with these dumb fucks, these masked fucking dipshits, saying like, you have no basis for any of these arrests. I am simply escorting him out of the fucking building, which I am allowed to do. That's not a problem. Brad Lander's not doing anything illegal. Same with the fucking defendant. He's also not doing anything illegal. He went to court for, I don't know, I'm not even sure what he was going for court. Maybe like some immigration proceedings or something. Whatever. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. What ICE is doing here is illegal. They don't have any justification or warrant to do any of this stuff.
This is not legal to take someone without a judicial warrant.
Please don't put him in the elevator and then claim you have the warrant.
You don't have a warrant for him.
I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant.
See? They have no justification for this, keep in mind. Also, if the NYPD was doing their job, they should be fucking breaking this up. Because what they are doing here, what ICE is doing here is illegal. Quick reminder. Fucking goddamn, whoa, crazy. This is a fucking goddamn sanctuary city. Keep in mind, New York is a sanctuary city. ICE is not allowed to do any of this stuff. But is the NYPD going to enforce the fucking law? No, of course not. Because fucking Eric Adams has, well, allowed for this fucking dreck and nonsense to happen. Very cool. I mean, they already got fucking arrested people at naturalization locations already, Boy Meets Mini. That's the same shit that happened to Moza Madawi. He was going there to take his test to become a naturalized fucking citizen. Yes, in Vermont. That was what happened to Moza Madawi. He was going to take his test to become a naturalized fucking citizen, and ICE was there and fucking detained him.
So show it. Let us see it. So let us see it before you take his warrant.
So again, they're detaining him for no reason.
Take it back.
Forcibly unlinked him.
Please, step back. Step back, guys. Step back.
And then he's getting arrested. Or detained. No, he got arrested. And, you know, the rest is what we've seen before. Brad Lander got fucking arrested by ICE. They just fucking took him out of the building and fucking kidnapped him. This is illegal. They are not allowed to do this. But again, they are allowed to operate with impunity because of Eric Adams' fucking complicity and, you know, Kristi Noem and the DHS and, you know, that dumb fuck 3 IQ troglodyte, Donald Trump, not knowing how the Constitution works because, again, they don't give a fuck about that. So that's really cool. Yeah, you know, shoving and pulling him. It's like, he's resisting. Yeah, you're fucking pushing him, bro. Like, what the fuck do you mean? That's not resistance, dumbass. Whatever. Sure, man. But well, we got some reaction to this. We got the governor, Kathy Hochul, you know, as ineffective and pathetic as she is, which is true. She is, like, one of the worst governors of New York. But what has she got here? New York Governor Kathy Hochul on the Trump administration's arrest of Democratic New York City mayoral candidate Brad Lander. Yeah, she sucks. She even looks like a ghoul. I'll be honest. I'll say it. You want to know what I really think? It's bullshit. How dare they take an elected official who's been going down there for weeks to escort people who are afraid to walk into a courtside in the United States of America? What the hell is happening in this country? You know, Kathy Hochul is correct here. She's right. You know, just not wrong. Brad Lander's been doing this for weeks, for months at this point. Constantly has been fucking doing this. But that's really cool. Fantastic. Excellent. ICE can just fucking arrest him for no reason. Because all he was doing was, you know, his job. Very cool. Very good. Also, like, listen, we all know what the hell is happening in this country. It's fucking fascism, baby. This is how it looks like. Quite literally. This is what the police state looks like. This comes after Lander was arrested after asking to see a judicial warrant. Again, for ICE trying to arrest, well, the migrant. I was saying it was the judicial warrant to arrest Brad Lander. No, it was the judicial warrant to arrest the migrant. Because that's what they're supposed to have. But again, ICE came up with some like dumbass fucking excuse saying that they have like executive warrants or something. It's bullshit. Here's what I don't understand. Why don't states command their National Guard regiments to drive out ICE? Because what? I assume probably something similar would happen to what happened in fucking goddamn California, right? Donald Trump would probably just take control of them and just be like, no, you can't do that. Or probably would see that as like seditious action, more than likely, and might send in the fucking military, if I were to take a guess, right? Like, why are you deploying a National Guard against these noble ICE officers? Why are you doing that? So that's pretty cool. That's great. That's excellent. Very, very cool. I mean, yeah, he's done it because he still thinks it anyways that, like, again, that one's probably just, like, some fucking Stephen Miller bullshit, I'll be quite honest, in terms of sending in the fucking Marines, which is obviously stupid and also probably illegal. Whatever. Do any of these people care about any of that stuff? No. None of these people give a shit about any of this stuff because, again, for all as I have constantly fucking said, for these motherfuckers, it's all about maintenance of hierarchy and control. They don't give a fuck about anything else. So what does Hochul have to say about this?
Do you want to know what I really think?
Mm-hmm.
Please. It's bullshit. How dare they take an elected official who's been going down there for weeks to escort people who are afraid to walk into a courthouse in the United States of America, because despite them having legal status and following the rules and making their...
That's the same argument I'm making. Yeah, they're conservatives. You complain about these motherfuckers never following the rules. They try to follow the rules, and then you fucking punish them for following the rules. So I guess they're not supposed to follow the rules? What do you want then?
appointments.
I say that purely rhetorically. They just want to either exterminate them or deport them. That's it.
That they don't know what's going to happen to them. So Brad Lander has stepped up to be a guiding help for them. And this is what happens to them. What the hell is happening to this country?
Fascism.
I just left Little Haiti. People are being traumatized. Small businesses, people walking down the street. When I was there in August.
Yeah, this is what the fascist attempt at a building of a fascist police state quite literally looks like. It's this. Like, unironically.
The streets were mobbed. People were walking down the sidewalks. There were vendors everywhere.
Yep. That's true, Boy
traffic
Meets
was
Minnie.
crowded.
She didn't speak up.
Today, there was silence. People are...
Yeah, she could have honestly enforced something probably on Eric Adams, right? She probably knew why Eric Adams took the deal. But again, it's the same thing with like Alex Padilla, right? Boy Meets Minnie. The only time when fucking Democrats started to speak up was when one of their own started to get fucking affected by these fucking ghouls, these troglodytes, these fucking subhumans. So, that's cool.
Living in fear. One woman just told me the ICE agents are going in and out of buildings there.
Sure, man.
They came here with legal status. Temporary protective status was legal. Tens of thousands of people came here with legal status.
Sorry, the Trump administration doesn't understand what that is because they're, I don't know, brain dead fucking morons. No, that's just 20 million illegals that Biden let in. It's just like, that's not what it is. That's not how temporary protective status works. And also, that's been like the number since the fucking 90s when the fucking program was even implemented in. So, whatever. Stupid, 3 IQ, dumb. They're dumb. They just don't know anything on purpose because, again, the point is the callous cruelty and they just want to fucking make migrants suffer. That's the only point.
And it's literally ripped away from them.
Sure. I mean, you know, whatever. At least she spoke up. It's fine. It's whatever. But here, we got, obviously, Zoran Mamdani. I think as soon as he fucking heard about it, bro just went right over to there. To the fucking place where he was being fucking detained. So, you know, base Zoran calling for the immediate release of Brad Lander. If there's another person that's going to come out looking good from this, it's not just, you know, it's not just going to be Brad Lander. Because Brad Lander is going to look really, really good for this. Because nobody in New York likes ICE. Zoran Mamdani is also going to come out looking really good at this. Because, again, solidarity. The people respect the solidarity. Let's keep it $1.50. Let's keep it real. They respect this shit, and it is a respectable thing. But you know, here's DHS. Here's what they said. New York City Comptroller Brad Lander was arrested for assaulting law enforcement and impeding a federal officer. We saw the video. You think like them forcibly unlinking his fucking arms and then pushing him around, restraining his fucking movements, is him assaulting fucking federal officers? Get your fucking pussy ass bullshit out of here, you fucking ghouls. Our heroic ICE law enforcement officers face a 413% increase in assaults against them. Oh no! I wonder why our masked fucking Gestapo isn't really well liked in the fucking cities that we are terrorizing with them. I wonder why that might be the fucking case. Kristi Noem, you fucking dumbass. It is wrong that politicians seeking higher office undermine law enforcement safety to get a viral moment. You are the ones who fucking initiated the aggression. Brad Lander was there to fucking escort a fucking defendant in immigration court from making sure that your fucking stooges just don't fucking all willy-nilly go to arrest him because you motherfuckers don't give a fuck at all about the Constitution. To you, it is a farce. It is just a fucking paper that you can wipe your fucking asses with. Nonsense. No one is above the law, except for you, I guess. You constantly trampling on people's rights and freedoms every fucking day that's afforded to them in the Constitution. So, that's cool. And if you lay a hand on a law enforcement officer, you will face consequences. These people aren't fucking law enforcement officers. What laws are they enforcing? The ones that let you fucking goddamn, I don't know, all willy-nilly just black bag people randomly and detain them and fucking deport them out of the fucking country without due process, without habeas corpus, without any of the fucking rights that are afforded to them under the Constitution. Because, quick fucking reminder, because all these motherfuckers love to forget that constantly. Oh, the 14th Amendment stipulates every person on the soil of the fucking United States has protections of the Constitution. Crazy. That also fucking includes non-citizen migrants. Whoopsie! And listen, we talked about the history for as to why that's the case. Oh, it's because of the 3/5 compromise. It got born out of slavery because the 14th Amendment was written up very shortly after the 13th Amendment, after the Civil War. You fucking morons. Very, very cool that these dumbasses have, like, no fucking idea. But I guess, it's okay. We're gonna start targeting Democratic officials. Very, very cool. But we got a little bit of a presser here from Brad Lander. You got let out same day. Lovely. Very cool. I guess Kathy Hochul also decided to show up. Good for her, I guess. Whatever.
For New York. This is a start. Excuse me, we need to deal with this. Excuse me, please, everyone. We need to deal with this situation.
I think that's her, him right beside her.
New York and our country. I was literally walking the streets of Little Haiti to try and bring some comfort to a community that's under siege with a travel ban and losing their legal status. The streets were empty. People are scared. Businesses are concerned about their future. And that's when I got word of what had happened to my colleague in government, our controller, Brad Lander. The video is shocking. I knew I needed to come down here immediately and check on his whereabouts and do what I could to intervene. I'll let Brad speak about his experience. But to my knowledge, there are no charges. Charges have been dropped. He walks out of there a free man. But while that
That's
is
cool.
a positive outcome in a very high-profile case, we're also concerned about those that are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation. We continue to do what we can to support the community.
That's pretty good, sure, cool.
And immigration coalitions, and thank them for their work that they're doing at this time. It's hard to see these people, to know their stories, to hug them, to know they've been separated from loved ones. I just want to say we're a better country than this. We're a far better country than what we're experiencing. This is New York. This is New York. A land of immigrants. We're proud of them. As I stood in the hallway, upstairs, on the 9th floor, waiting to know the whereabouts of my friend, almost everyone I spoke to who worked there, in security and otherwise, they came from other countries. They're immigrants themselves. Don't forget that. Don't forget it. Ladies and gentlemen, I present our controller, Brad Lander.
Thank you. I want to thank the governor, and I want to thank Immigrant ARC, the organization that I was volunteering with today, and all the other volunteers that are here. I'm New York City Controller Brad Lander, and I'm happy to report I am just fine. I lost a button.
Not the button, no! It's over. Not the button, no!
But, I'm going to sleep in my bed tonight, safe with my family. I'm grateful to hear that the charges...
Listen, you say yay, Boy Meets Minnie and hype, but this man lost his button. That's kind of fucked up, honestly. Not the button, no!
But if they are, I've got a lawyer. I don't have to worry about my due process rights. At that
Yeah, he'll be
elevator,
fine.
I was separated from someone named Edgardo, who I had just met a couple of minutes earlier. Edgardo is in ICE detention, and he's not going to sleep in his bed tonight. So far as I know, he has no lawyer. He has been stripped of his due process rights by a government and a judge that owe him a credible fear hearing before they deport him, and yet have this...
Yep, that's what, that's what habeas corpus is there for, fucking conservatives. The fucking government has to argue a reasoning, provide him a reasoning why he's fucking being detained, and they're probably not gonna do that. Yeah, they're probably not gonna fucking do that. And due process rights as well, because guess what? He has to have his fucking day in court for as to why he's being fucking deported, because what did he do? I don't know. Go to his immigration hearing. Crazy.
Decided instead to strip folks like Edgardo and the prior gentleman that I walked out
I agree.
with,
He
their
should
language
sue
is
for that
Yoruba,
button.
and who only got a translator in French. And so when the judge said, do you understand what it means that after I dismiss your case, you'll have no status? He said no status, as he recognized what was about to happen. So I will be fine, but Edgardo is not going to be fine. And the rule of law is not fine, and our constitutional democracy is not fine. This is the third week in a row that I've come down here with immigrant art.
Oh, he's done this 3 weeks in a row.
To accompany families out of this building. And before today, I had walked 4 families out, all of whom were afraid that they were going to be detained by ICE agents, and yet who were able to walk out of the building, even though they had their cases dismissed and are subject to expedited removal, but were nonetheless able to get out of that building and at least get back to their kids, get back to their families, try to figure out what's next.
Okay, so I guess, like, it's all just, like, people being sent to these fucking immigration courts, probably being detained randomly by ICE, charges that were probably put in by ICE and the DHS saying, like, yeah, we need to get rid of these guys, and then they go to the courts, and they're just like, oh, this is, like, some fucking complete bullshit, and they probably get dropped, right? If I were to take a guess.
Today, Meg, I really want to say a big thank you to my wife, Meg, who was here with me doing it.
My wife?
Meg and I were able to walk out a family of 4 beautiful, what, did you get their names? No, so 4, like a mom, a dad, a 5-year-old, and a 4-year-old, beautiful kids. Meg's Spanish is a lot better than mine, so she took their names.
My wife.
The judge gave them 1 week to come back and talk about why they fear being deported to their country. And so we're certainly going to follow up with them. We got their number, and are going to make sure that at least they get as much help as we can provide, as New York City, as New York State can provide to help them avoid being separated or being detained. But then when we went back upstairs, again, we have these next 2 cases, this Yoruba gentleman and then Edgardo, who we just tried to walk out of the building, and I think you saw the video.
We've
All I
seen
tried
the
to do
video,
was
yeah.
hold Edgardo's
That was
arm
Edgardo.
and ask the ICE agents, do you have a warrant? And they would
They
not
didn't.
show me the warrant, and I said I'd let go of his arm as soon as they showed it to me, and they did not show it to me, and you saw what happened.
Yep, because, again, it doesn't matter. It's all illegal bullshit. None of them fucking gives any of this stuff. True, freed Edgardo. What did Edgardo do? What he was supposed to do. Which is what all the conservatives keep saying that they're supposed to do. But, you know, just... They don't give a fuck about any of that stuff, because it's about all... Like I've been saying constantly before, all about the fucking callous fucking cruelty. They just want people to suffer. That's it.
I will say they treated me just fine after that, and it is true, Governor, you know, as you just said, that the 2 ICE agents who detained me, one is a Pakistani Muslim immigrant who lives in Brighton Beach, and the other is an Indo-Guyanese gentleman who lives in South Ozone Park. This is what New York City is. It is the greatest...
That's so fucking funny, dude. It's a bunch of fucking immigrants that are doing the Gestapo work. That's crazy. I don't want to, like, blame individual fucking officers for why they have to do... Listen, they probably have their own stories for as to why they have to be, like, I don't know, authoritarian fucking goons. Or whatever the fuck. Maybe because, again, job market's dog shit, blah, 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 blah. But still, you're being fucking, like, complicit authoritarian fucking goons for the dumb fuck Cheeto in power who barely has an understanding of, I don't know, the words that are constantly fucking in front of him if he were to start reading anything.
Immigrant city that the world has ever known, and we are not going to allow Donald Trump to wreck the rule of law, to deny people due process, and to turn our country into something that doesn't meet its obligations under international law. And so I just engage in that tradition of accompaniment, of trying to bear witness, of trying to walk peacefully with someone, of trying to make sure that the rules are followed, and that we would know what their badge numbers were, and that we would be able to see the judicial warrant before he was detained.
I wouldn't be surprised if ICE agents didn't have badge numbers. I'm gonna be honest. I would be not surprised if they just didn't have those. You know, I feel like they don't. And why is that? Why do I feel like they don't have those fucking those details? I think it should be fairly obvious because, broadly speaking, the Trump administration understands what they're doing is well illegal, right? Everyone can fucking agree to that, except for conservatives because, well, they asked for this. They want this to happen, obviously. But broadly speaking, why are they fucking doing this? Well, you know, because of, like, just complete fascist, like, dipshittery. We all know the fucking meme. We've talked about this before.
Because we don't know where Edgardo is now. No one is able to be in touch with him. And our country is better than that. Our country is better than that. In the room where I was detained, there are posters on the wall, you know, like you have in the store where it says, make sure you're being paid $7.25 an hour. And on the wall of the poster, it says in English, "Are you detained and separated from your children?" And it says in Spanish, está usted detenido y separado de sus hijos. Like, that's what's on the walls of the detention room in this building. We are normalizing family separation. We are normalizing due process rights violations. We are normalizing the destruction of constitutional democracy, and we're not going to stand by and let it happen. This city, 8 million New Yorkers, 40% of them, themselves immigrants, themselves foreign-born, like those two officers. 50% of New Yorkers live in mixed-status households, including 1 million children. That is the future of our city that we are fighting for, and I was proud to be out here with Immigrant ARC. I will keep coming back. I do want to say, you know, I'm grateful to the governor for coming. I'm grateful to all of you for being here. I believe it is important to show up and bear witness and accompany people, and to do it in the tradition of nonviolent witness. We are not going to give Donald Trump and his goons any excuse for ratcheting up conflict or violence. It is possible to show up and protect New Yorkers and protect people who have the right to seek asylum and insist on due process, and do it in the best traditions of nonviolent witness, and show that this city, the greatest immigrant city the world has ever known, the city with that statue out in the harbor saying, "Send me your tired, your poor, your wretched masses yearning to breathe free," that we will do it in a way that honors that statue, that honors our traditions, that shows what New Yorkers look like. Thank you all very much for being out here.
Many people next to this.
Everyone stand back!
Very cool and very epic.
Hang on, you guys. All right, Chloe.
Everyone sit down!
Is this, Jesus Christ, fucking yelling in my ears, bro. Stop it! Is there, like, some question period, basically?
Tomorrow. Here tomorrow or in future days.
I absolutely will be back here. And I would urge others to do it as
He's
well.
going
You know,
back.
I was proud to be
He's
out
not
here.
giving up. Let's go.
5,000 people we had out this weekend. And a lot of people asked, what more can we do? And I think showing up to bear witness and accompany is one important thing that all New Yorkers, or many...
I think it's just like a question period, right? Yeah, he's gonna start answering questions. It's very cool. Well, why don't we get like Chris Cuomo's reaction to this? You know, we'll get to this funny little video. So what? This is the latest example of the extreme thuggery of Trump's ICE out of control. One can only imagine the fear families across our country feel who when confronted with ICE. Fear of separation, fear of being taken from their schools, fear of being detained without just cause. This is not who we are. This must stop, and it must stop now. So, you know, that's pretty cool of you to say that, Andrew Cuomo. Very, very cool. We got this funny little clip here by Gremlo. What do we got here?
They're going to send in ICE in New York. They are going to do things that are illegal and unconstitutional. But let's not overreact. They're going to send...
Let's not overreact. That's when you're supposed to overreact and crack down on ICE. What, you're not gonna fucking do anything about this? What, you're gonna, like, allow the fucking Gestapo goons to sort of, like, keep walking around? What, are you that fucking, I don't know, complicit with fucking the stupid DOJ investigation? Because I said this before during the fucking debate. Cuomo knows that the fucking goddamn DOJ investigation, if Trump wants to get something that he wants, he could just start wiggling that in front of him, just being like, "Hey, Cuomo, you want this investigation to go away? Maybe I can make it go away, give you a pardon for it if you let my goons keep apprehending people in New York." Same exact shit as with Eric Adams. This motherfucker would also be complicit with ICE. He would collaborate with them without a fucking problem. We all know how much this fucking dumbass sucks off the NYPD. And we all know what the NYPD thinks of the sanctuary city laws. They're not big fans of them in particular. Crazy. So he would collaborate with them. That's not even a fucking question. So, you know, very, very cool from Andrew fucking Cuomo speaking out of both sides of his mouth to try to take advantage of a political situation. Take a quick look at this article. Comptroller Brad Lander arrested at ICE court hearing. City Comptroller Brad Lander was arrested and accosted by masked federal agents. You know, we've seen the video. It was in Lower Manhattan. The city's elected financial watchdog and a Democratic candidate for mayor appeared at 26 Federal Plaza on the morning of June 17th to observe immigration hearings involving individuals marked for potential deportation. Lander's arrest, which AM New York observed, occurred as a comptroller and his staff walked arm in arm with an immigrant whom federal agents representing ICE, the FBI, and the Treasury Department... Why the fuck are there federal agents of the Treasury... Okay, whatever. Why is the IRS there or some shit? Why? That's really weird. Each of whom was wearing masks to conceal their faces. Hey, I wonder why people are trying to, quote-unquote... Because, like, DHS has made the argument that people are trying to dox the fucking federal agents You dumbass motherfuckers. What do you think the purpose of police having badges is? Like, that's like material directly to fucking dox them. They're supposed to be able to be identifiable and, well, accountable to fucking civil individuals in case they do something illegal, like abusing those fucking citizens, you fucking dumbasses. But again, that's why all of this is just stupid, dumb fuck Gestapo police state fucking bullshit. That's the point of this entirely. Moved to seize after a court hearing. Moments earlier, the immigrant had their case dismissed, pending further appeal. Whoa, crazy. So again, what they're doing is illegal. More than likely, the immigrant got fucking detained, if I were to take a fucking guess, by ICE, sent to the fucking courts. The courts looked at it saying, this is bullshit, fuck off with this nonsense, and then, ICE is probably going to try to appeal because, again, all they care about is deporting people. That's the entirety of the point. Very cool. Here's the video. Moved to pull Lander away from the immigrant. Comptroller shouted, show me your warrant, show me your badge. They're never going to do that because they don't have a warrant and they probably don't have badges, which is illegal. I'll let go if you show me a judicial warrant. I would like to see the warrant, then I will let go. They don't have it. Like I explained before, they have something called executive warrants or like privilege or whatever. They haven't been issued anything from the DOJ, any judicial warrants, nothing at all. Seconds later, one of the officers said, take him in, and then they forcibly removed him. Don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens, not obstructing, standing in the hallway. We've seen this all in the fucking video. Agents didn't respond to anyone's questions as to where they took Lander. The charges against Lander are unknown at this time. Yeah, warrants? Yeah, that sounds kind of woke. Sources close to the incident indicate he may be released on a summons. Again, party of law and order, by the way. They really care about following the fucking rule of law, and they do everything fucking possible that's illegal. Very, very cool. So, while in custody, Lander's NYPD detail remains with him along with 2 attorneys, sources said. Again, they didn't do anything to stop ICE because they're complicit with ICE. While escorting a defendant out of immigration court, 26 Federal Plaza, Brad Lander was taken by mass agents by ICE, said Dora Pekka, a spokesperson for Lander. This is still developing. We are monitoring the situation closely. Same with his wife, who also spoke up about this. Yada, yada, yada. Why is that shit doing that? Stop it. Comptroller hopefuls fume over Trump's ICE cowboy Gestapo. Yeah, we all know about the stupid fucking LARP bullshit that Kristi Noem loves her little fucking cowboy hat LARP dumb fuckery. She loves that shit. Earlier this year, Lander declined to seek re-election as comptroller and is currently one of the 9 Democrats running for the mayoral nomination in the 24th primary. Early voting, the contest is already underway. 2 of the Democrats seeking to succeed Lander as comptroller. Brooklyn City Council member Justin Brennan. I think Adam Conover had an interview with him. And Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine pulled no punches in condemning his arrest Tuesday. Trump's ICE Gestapo, cowboy Gestapo, isn't about public safety. It's about authoritarianism. Very true. It shreds the rule of law, ignores due process, and targets people based on fear and hate. We can't let this fascist playbook become the new normal. True. Mass ICE agents just violently arrested a U.S. citizen, an elected official, for simply asking to see a judicial warrant. This is authoritarianism. Comptroller Lander must be released immediately. Very, very cool. We all know what the point of this is. Again, yeah, Nazi Bratz doll LARPer Kristi Noem. Fucking dumb fuck cowboy dipshit LARPer who will like LARP as basically anything in order to score political points to manufacture consent for, well, authoritarianism. As expected from Kristi fucking Noem. Very, very cool. We all know what the fuck is going on here. The point of this was just to strike fear. The Trump administration could give less of a flying fuck at all of, whoa, crazy, the rule of law. None of these people have ever cared about the rule of law. Every fucking court, every fucking battle, almost every fucking battle. I think like last month alone, like Trump lost 96% of his fucking court cases. He's gonna try to appeal anyways because that's like all he fucking does. He has the infinite resources of the federal government. He has the money to fucking just constantly appeal over and over and over again and send it up to the Supreme Court if he wants to. So that's cool. That's great. That's fantastic. Very, very cool. We all know like the point of this. These people do not care about the rule of law. It's never been about the rule of law. It's about attempting to set up a police state. That's it. Trump wants to be a king, first and foremost, because guess what? All the fucking dumbasses that he fucking idolizes are, whoa, also all a fucking authoritarian goons. Putin, Kim Jong-un, fucking President Xi, all these motherfuckers are all fucking authoritarian crackpots. And Trump, oh, I want to be an authoritarian crackpot. Yeah. That's pretty much about it. Which is why he's trying to do everything possible in order to help catalyze and, whoa, crazy, build the fucking apparatus and mechanisms of fear in order to be able to catalyze that. That is the entire point. So, that's cool and great that all the stupid LARPy Gestapo are now more and more willing in order to completely just go after elected fucking officials. We've seen the same thing with fucking Alex Padilla, alright? Same fucking bullshit is constantly going on here. And, well, is anything going to really be effectively done about this? Probably not. It's going to continue to fucking deteriorate and get worse and worse and worse. And, be allowed to keep going. Because, the National Democrats are incredibly weak and are fucking complicit. So, as expected, that, from our fucking great liberal party that's currently in fucking power, nothing's probably going to really change about this. Like I've said before, it's up to fucking goddamn community solidarity and people banding with one another to protect their communities from all these fucking Gestapo fucking goons. That is what it's going to take in order to make sure that you are safe from all this fucking bullshit. Because the Trump administration, these motherfuckers don't care about the rule of law. None of these fucking people give a shit about stopping Trump's fucking goddamn police state crackdown bullshit. The only thing that you can rely on in this fucking moment is each other. That's pretty much about it, to be honest.